Anto, is it recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next topic which we are going to deal with is goods and services tax network. So whenever a government is getting any policy, or it is a matter of taxation issue or a matter of welfare issue or any issue, they should deal, and there should be a platform to deal with, or there should be a platform to communicate or to interact. Similarly, in case of GST also, we have a platform to interact, to assessment, to file the returns, to get the notice, to register, and to deal in every issue related to the tax. Related to the GST, there is a platform called GSTN, that is Goods and Services Tax Network. It is an online portal or a web platform where you can interact as a taxation person or a general public. You can interact with the government and present your issues related to assessment or appeals, payment of taxes, registration, and everything. So here, for the purpose of GST, the platform created was GST Network. It is according to Section 8 of New Companies Act, that is Companies Act 2013. Okay, and it is non-profit making company. So it is just purely for providing the service and not for making the profit. It's a non-government private limited company. So it is like a partnership between public and government and the private people or industry. So the government of India holds 24.5% of equity. So in this website or the so-called platform, the share of government is 24.5%, and all the states of India, and including central government and state government, they holds 24.5%. And then this state finance empowerment committees of state finance ministers, and together they hold 24.5% of the share. Balance 51% of equity is related to non-government financial institution, non-government financial institutions, that is private people, especially private people. As I have already said, it is a non-government private limited thing, a company, and because the 51% of a share in this GSTN network is held by the private people. We say, when we say it a government company, when 51% of a share is held by the government, but here 51% of the share is held by the private people, and it is a non-government private limited company, or so-called a platform. So what actually this GSTN network is about to do? Okay, the company has set up a primary motive of providing IT infrastructure, that is information technology and service, to central government, state governments, taxpayers, and other stakeholders. Other stakeholders means banks, financial institutions, and many other people who are interested in the GST. It may be ED or income tax department or any other department. So to all of them, to provide a service, further service, they want to provide a common IT platform that is being provided by the GSTN network. So it provides service to state government, central government, taxpayers, other stakeholders, and to deal and to interact has been started. So here the authorized capital of GSTN network is rupees 10 crores. It is rupees 10 crores. They have invested and they have started this particular platform. Okay, the vision, why actually it is about to do. What is its vision? To be a trusty national information utility which provides reliable. See, there when an issue comes there, when a website is there, to that there will be a number of faulty websites or duplicate websites. But here, no, in case of a GST network, they want to provide a genuine, reliable and efficient and a robust IT platform. For that, they have started the GST network. That means there will be a single platform. There will be a single platform on which you can interact with issues of GST. So enabling economic agents to leverage an entire nation into one market with minimum indirect tax compliance cost. So earlier, before the introduction of GST, there used to be a number of departments. You used to have VAT, you used to have sales tax, central sales tax, excise duty, customs duty. Like a number of departments are involved, a number of websites are involved. Once the GST has been brought and all the taxes are unified into one, when it is unified, the taxes are unified, definitely all the websites or what called so-called platform should be unified, and that unified platform is nothing but GSTN, that is GST network. Okay, coming to the mission, actually what this GSTN is doing, actually what the GSTN is supposed to do. Let's see. So provide common and shared IT infrastructure. Provide a common platform. That means anybody who want to deal with the GST has to approach this particular platform to interact. It may be government, it may be taxpayers or any other people. Provide common registration, returns payment service to the taxpayers. There should be a common registration. It may be a dealer, small dealer or a big dealer who is dealing in CGST, SGST or IGST, or is dealing in a customs. Everyone has to get a single registration and single registration number, that is GSTIN number. And also for services like returns and payment of taxes, everything will be done in this particular platform. Partner with other agency for creating efficient and user friendly GST ecosystem. That is, see here, why they have been collaborated with other private people or non-government people is that to provide an efficient system, and if to provide an efficient system, similarly user friendly, because when you are considering the opinion of a different people, the level of outcome will be different. So for that reason, they have involved even the private people to make it more robust, more efficient, more service providing. Okay. And then encourage and collaborate with GST Suvidha providers. We have GSPs, that is taxation agents, where they provide services regarding that GST. For example, people may not go for self-assessment. Sometimes, no, if they are having a subject knowledge, you can go for that. But when you are not into the subject, then as a layman, you have to approach somebody to file this returns assessment, everything. So that is done by GST Suvidha providers. Similarly, provide efficient back-end service to the tax department. See, there should be a lot of database regarding dealers or quantity of goods at different rates, who has filed, who has not filed, who we have issued a notice, a request from. So there should be a robust platform. Backend programming should be there. So to provide a backend and database ready every time they have started this particular GST and network. Delivery any other service relevant to state and central government, other stakeholders on request. See, similarly, GST and network sometimes shares its data required when it is required by state government or central government or financial institutions. For example, a dealer may take a loan and says that his business is not running properly and he don't want to pay. I mean, he is into due of taxation. So taxation departments know, if they want more details about that particular person, what the different business he is into, they can approach to GSTN or GST department, and they can provide and they can collect the information required by other agencies. Okay. Then GST network is a non-government organization, PPP company, that is public-private partnership, meaning holding 51% is held by the private industry and 49 is owned by government and other thing. The capital is 49, as I have said. Here you can clearly see what are the shares, what is the shareholdings of GSTN shareholder and market. Central government is holding 25%, 24.5. State governments are holding 24.5. Then these are all private institutions, including one LIC also. LIC is though it is a government, but so your HDFC is holding 10%, HDFC, Bank, ICICI, NSC, Strategic Investment, LIC Housing. These are the different stakeholders or those people who are invested in the formulation of the GST network. So now let us see what is the function of GST network, what actually they are about to do. So this particular diagram will give you a clear picture why the GST network has been started. The first and the foremost thing is registration. Any person, any dealer who is dealing with the goods and services that comes into the purview of GST should get himself registered for the GST. So where to get registered means in the platform, or the common platform provided is GSTN network for getting registered. So getting registered, then once the business is done, you have to file the returns. That is maybe quarterly, half yearly, annually, or any other returns. You have to file the returns. From where you will file from the GST network. Similarly, if you want to pay any challans or taxation, no, still you have to approach for GST network. Similarly, interstate goods. When in a particular transaction, if two different states, interstate supply, that is a supply between two states that is incurred, so it also moves through the GST. Then in case of refunds, when you have paid excess tax, you have paid the tax advance, that is advance tax is more than actual tax. In such a case, the government will give you a refund. So that refund also you can claim through the GST network. Similarly, audits also. See, there will be a tax audit. Sometimes if the government will have, they'll conduct an audit in your organization or in your business. That also happens through the GSTN network. Similarly, appeals. If you have any concerns that any injustice has happened, more tax is collected, or the government is harsh towards you, there will be appeals platform where you can go, you can make an appeal, and you can seek the justice. So these are the various functions of GSTN network, from registration, returns, challans, interstate goods, refund, auditing, and appeals. All these activities can be done through the GSTN network. That is almost in this particular 7 odd things you have covered everything. How you are going to, I mean, what aspects you are going to deal with the GST. So all the process. The GST network is based on a channel of communication for government and business tax payers online. It is a front-end IT ecosystem. Yes, GSTN is a front-end. That means where you are interacting. Then GSTN process more than, see here, these are the records or statistics. GSTN process more than 2 billion invoices per month. On an average, they process 2 billion invoices every month, and also process the returns of 65 lakh taxpayers, and it is still counting. Here are some responsibilities, what GST and what GST will do. So first is registration. That is every dealer who is in dealing with goods and services that are in the purview of GST, they have to register by using the GSTN network. Then invoice matching. Invoice matching is whenever you are going to claim for the input tax credit, the invoice or the voucher or the bill that is given by the previous dealer, that is who are, if A, B, C, D are there in a production line. So people, if they are claiming for input tax credit, his predecessor dealer, that is the dealer from whom he has brought his bill, as well as the returns that input tax claimed by the present dealer should match. That means in the series of a production line, the invoices of the people should match. Then only they'll get the input tax credit. If there is any mismatch, the entire production line or the number of people who are involved in the process of production of goods and who are claiming the input tax credit, it's not possible for them to claim. If there is any mismatch of numbers, quantity or price or whatever it is not possible. The next, return filing, that is filing of returns. GST network forwards process the returns of both central and state government authorities, that is CGST and SGST and IGST as well. So this dealer who is registered will deal in CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST. Sometimes in all the dealer on all the 4 aspects they may be dealing, but though they are dealing in 4 aspects, that is central government, state government, or union territory government, or anything else, but they require only a single return to file, not multiple returns. CGST ke liye ek return, SGST one return. So that is not required for them to deal with. Okay. The next, we need to accept some participants. Okay. The next thing is additional due, taxpayers profile analysis. See, the government will have every detail of a taxpayer. See, before you going to the registration, you will submit the necessary documents, your photographs, your rental agreement, the place of business, your address proofs, Aadhaar card, PAN card, or whatever bank statement or passbook or everything you will be submitting to the government. So they'll have a detailed profile of yours, and whenever the government is required, it collects your details from the GSTN. Similarly, additional duties. Apart from this above duties, they are also having additional duties, managing basic tax filing, few responsibilities, computation of IGST and settlement of IGST. See, the issue of IGST is between central government and state government. It should be shared between them. So that is done by the GSTN network. Then integrating banking networks. For example, see, GST network may, when you are paying the taxes, different people will have a bank account in different banks, and anyhow there is no manual payment, everything will be online payment. So GST network has to integrate with the different banks, so that there won't be any hurdle, or there won't be any disturbance, and there will be a smooth flow of payment of tax, because somebody pays from Andhra Bank, somebody pays from Central Bank, somebody pays from SBI Bank, and GST network is required to coordinate with all these people so that there will be a smooth flow in payment of tax. Similarly, managed computation engine of input rate. See, input tax rate is another crucial concept in case of GST, where you claim the tax on inputs. That should, the process also should be done by the GST network, that is by matching invoices of those people who are involved in the production line and giving them input necessary input tax credit. So that work also should be done. First one is GST settlement, second one is integrating with the bank, third one is dealing with the input tax credit. The next features of GST network. GST network, National Information Utility. That means the GST network will contains all the information, the number of dealers registered, their details, their turnover, their tax payment, their past history, everything will be there with the GST network. That's it is known as National Information Utility. The government can collect information from this GST network whenever it is needed. There is strong infrastructure and complex, and GST network is dealing with so many dealers and so many billion. They say that around 10 or 20 billions of invoices every month, and 60 lakh taxpayers when is saying. So when the numbers are such high, they require a robust platform to deal with all these things, because they are very much complex operations. For example, matching of invoices. Matching of invoices, they are saying like around 65 lakh taxpayers. Matching of invoices in the particular production line, sometimes 5 people may involve, sometimes 10 people may involve, sometimes 100 people may involve. So matching all these invoices and dealing with input tax, that is not a easy task. So it requires very much strong infrastructure to deal with all these uh, things. Okay, and the next coming to the next point, information security. That is, see, when the crucial information of a dealers are provided with their address proof, photograph, PAN card, bank account details, bank statement, so there should be some sort of security or assurance of security from the side of GSTN to the dealers, because ultimately it is their personal information or financial information that has been shared with the GSTN network, and the GSTN network has to assure them that there is privacy or there is enough security for the information whatever they uh, give by keeping believe or by relying on the GST network. When they provide all the crucial information, it is the duty of a GST network to give them the everything, that is to assure them that everything is safe with them. Payment. GST network has enabled the taxpayer to all the options of an online payment. As I have said, GST, the tax is paid through online, so they have to integrate with different banks from where, so different people will have bank account in different banks, where they'll pay from their bank where they have a current account, from that they'll pay. So for the GST, it is necessary for them to integrate with those banking systems or banking people to coordinate and to have a smooth function. Similarly, you have a offline payment of GST. It is not a mandatory that taxpayer have to go for online, because no, in rural areas where people are not user friendly with the technology, or there is no proper technology or infrastructure, there they can go for offline payment. The government facilitates for offline payment via over the counter payments. That is, wherever you have a local office regarding this GST, they can approach them and they can provide for online payment. Similarly, expenses. So such a big robust platform called GST, and when it is maintained, there will be a lot of maintenance cost involved. It may be related to maintenance of website, security issues, or when you're dealing with different banks, different back-end operations. So definitely they require a huge amount of money to meet all these expenses. So these expenses are entirely paid by state government and central government on 50-50 basis. That is, half of the amount is paid by state government, half the amount is paid by central government. Okay, because the expenses are a little bit more when it comes to the matter of GST. So the next GST infrastructure we'll see. GST is a portal developed by GST network. It serves as a front end. Why it is called front end? Because you are going to, as a taxpayer, going to deal with GST network directly, that is to whom you are interacting with. So it is a front end IT ecosystem, and there will be a back end operations also that support supporting operations, but it is a front end. GSTN is a front end because it interacts directly with the client or taxpayers or other people. Then the IT system of CBEC, that is Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs, and individual state departments will function as a backend to this system. Who will be the backend operators? Means Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs. Similarly, respective state government websites also will be the backend operations. The backend method will have only GST, which interact directly with the client or taxpayers. Okay, the CBEC and state systems will act as a intermediary in the administration process. That means they'll be simply playing a supportive role. Uh, Whereas GST and network is a direct front end interaction, and state government back end which are going to support the GST and network. The front end system of GST will be following functions. What functions they will be providing? They'll be providing the functions of registering application, then filing of returns, challan creation for tax payments, IGST settlement. Similarly, generation of business intelligence and analytics. That is all the statistics and information, at what pace it is going on, how much GST is collected, and what is the statistics of past few months or few years. All that statistics data should be provided. Okay. Then item level details in invoice. See, GST network have a details whenever a dealer is giving GST number, and when they are going to registered dealer, and each and every transaction which they are doing, all the details will be there with the GST network. Maybe transfer, it may be sale, it may be purchase, or it may be input tax credit, anything, every detail will be available with the GSTN. Purchase transactions data will be uploaded by the taxpayer to the GST portal for the first time, containing information he comprised of supplier GST. How to enter details? The transaction ID is, you type your UID number, quantity, how much is purchased, what is the price, what is the GST rate. This process is first done by the dealer. Once it is done, every information will be reached to the GST network. Then subsequent dealer, when he is going to file, he if he want to claim the input tax rate, has to file exactly the same details. After matching that, after matching is possible, and if it is matched correctly, then only you'll get the input tax credit. If there is any mismatch, then there won't be any scope for the input tax credit whatsoever it is called. Yes. So we'll deal with the GST tax Suvidha providers in the next session. In the meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can